Yeah, it's mask on tonight. Yeah, this is Kev. This is Black Men Being Brutally Honest, and welcome to another Any Given Sunday. And this is this Sunday is Father's Day Sunday. So first off, Happy Father's Day. It's really and Happy Father's Day is really the only three words that some of you fuckers need to say. And none of that Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there doing it, or Happy Father's Day to the fathers that are actually there for their let that fucking shit go. Because odds are, if your father wasn't there, there's a bitch in your life that's not telling you the truth. All I see from black people who make themselves public is fucking ignorance. Even when you're popular, you got a fucking platform, you're still ignorant about this one topic every fucking year. Every year. Every year it's like that. You either hear this bullshit, oh, I'm the father, I'm the mother. As far as I'm concerned, you ain't shit if you try to feel like you gotta be both. Ain't shit. You ain't even worthy of the title of mother. You trying to be two things and enlarge as a group. You're not even that good at one. Let's just tell the fucking truth. Especially when you have a son and the dad ain't around. Y'all fuck that up real good. Mm. And yeah, I'm gonna get on the deadbeats too. You know, the guys who will stick their dick in a tree if they could get pregnant. Yeah, I get them guys, but we hear so much about those guys. We gotta attack this stupid ass narrative here. Most of you motherfuckers claiming black first, B1, pro black, any of that shit, you're not good with the whole black father defense. You're good with the ain't shit defense. You're good with the thought defense. You're good with the fucking Pookie defense. But every one of you motherfuckers got shot out of somebody's dick. And that's the goddamn truth. Some of you actually had good fathers. You want people to believe that you're the only one that had a good dad. You sorry ass prick, too lazy to fucking think or act like everybody's stupid. It's the dumb shit. The becoming a father in America in 2014 was like the best day of my life. But hey, you know what? By being in the know of Western culture, I knew there's going to be some ignorant shit automatically. I knew it. I knew it. It got to the point where I was getting upset with people for looking at me like I had done something whenever I had my daughter with me in public. Like even some of their older men, yeah, man, we need to see more of that. And then I asked one more, what? We see black dads out here and all this. I was like, man, look, shut the fuck up already. And then I walk off. I mean, like, I'm not even being nice about this shit anymore. Too many black fathers out here doing the damn thing. But yeah, you want to listen to WS narratives all your life. Oh, the father wasn't there. Oh my God. I mean, let's get to the bottom of whose fault that was. I'm not saying that a man who doesn't have a condom on isn't responsible for this. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is the characters of some of these motherfuckers y'all making kids with, y'all don't need to be up here on these platforms talking shit. You need to be doing everything that you can to get your life in order to make it easier for that kid. Bitches spend all day on Twitter and Facebook talking about I'm the mother and the father, or how sorry black men are because she screwed a loser. I mean, shit. To eliminate a lot of that confusion, all you gotta fucking do is tell your kid the fucking truth. That's all you gotta do. But instead, no, you got niggas like me up here talking like this. Because every year, hey, every year before, like not every year before I was a black dad, because y'all really started this bullshit when they opened up the damn airwaves to you about how it's never your fault that you can't build a fucking family. Shit, I'm a shit. I used to I used to hang out with a friend. Everybody knew this dude was sorry as fuck. Everybody did. Yet and still, this motherfucker could keep a woman on the hip. Three of those women became his baby mama, and they knew about each other. What in God's name possesses people to be so fucking dumb? I mean, hell, like here's the first giveaway. If he's always getting dropped off by friends with cars and never have a job to go to, that might be a giveaway. But just because you procreated with somebody like that doesn't mean that my dad failed. It doesn't mean that people who are watching dads failed. It does not mean that, hey, my dad's dad failed, even though he kind of did. Doesn't mean just because some of y'all dads out here really failed you, or your mother failed at selecting someone that might have actually been around for you, doesn't mean mine did. It doesn't mean that. And I'm truly saying this because I care. I'm not really honestly, I'm not supposed to give a fuck about you. I'm not supposed to. I'm not supposed to sit here and listen to a sock chewer talk about, oh man, boom. Hey, hold on one second. Boy, sorry about that. Little slight interruption. But hey, you know what? You know what? You know what? This is not going to be that broadcast. I'll put it that way. This is not going to be that broadcast. It's going to be something else entirely. Because black men like me should just be done. We should be done with the bullshit. But unfortunately for a lot of us, some of us aren't. See, I don't see enough defense for fathers, even though a lot of guys are fathers. Sometimes those guys put being a simp past being a father. You know why? You know why that is? Because it goes back to the same thing that I always say, that fucking Highlander complex. As long as I look like a good dad, that doesn't mean that I have to defend black folks. We let this shit go. Black dads at large, let this shit go. Let this narrative go because they figure, hey, as long as it ain't me that they're talking about, if it don't apply, let it fly. Weakest fucking excuse on the planet. If it don't apply, let it fly. That's an excuse for people who do not want to face the consequences of what they say. That's all these Negroes say. Oh, if it don't apply, let it fly. Yeah, that's my ticket to being stupid. That if I just say if it don't apply, let it fly, I can get away with saying stupid shit about black men and black dads all fucking day. And please don't ask me these questions. Well, what about the women? Well, go to their broadcast where they shit on black men. Go to their broadcast tonight. If you're watching here, you're in the right spot. I am the weekend warrior. And why am I so heated about Father's Day anyway? Why am I so heated about Father's Day? Why am I so heated that this narrative had just has to happen over and over again? And like I said, it's no secret. I spent some time in the restaurant business. I learned the difference between Mother's Day and Father's Day just by doing that. And a lot of you know what I'm talking about because every Mother's Day you're chomping at the bits to take your mother to somewhere nice to eat. Yeah, They blow the backs out of restaurants on Mother's Day. Shoot. I mean, I work for a couple concepts. I mean, one of the concepts made $40,000 in one day. That is a lot of fucking food. But in this community, we kind of treat Father's Day like it's this inside joke. Like, man, don't nobody care about their father for real on Father's Day. And as funny as that used to sound sometimes, that shit is sad but true. Don't nobody give a damn. Is in the last 2 or 3 years, a lot of people gotten tired of the whole "I'm the mother and the father" thing. So Father's Day is finally gaining a little bit of momentum. It finally is. But for a long time, it's like nobody really gave a damn about Father's Day. Nobody gave a damn about the sacrifices that a father makes for his family. And a lot of that coming from these bitter baby mamas. These feminists who have bitter baby mamas as friends. The man need to be there for his child. Now, when you say that, in order for that statement to be valid, everybody's situation has to be exactly the same. Dude get her pregnant, dude immediately scrams. She's stuck with being pregnant. She has the kid. She's stuck with the child for however many years until they go to college, or they end up with the usual in prison or a dead end job. And sometimes not even a dead end job. Sometimes just dead. Or if they're a girl, pregnant, to repeat the cycle. That's why, like that's why, like really, because of those circumstances right there. That's why no woman should ever claim to be the mother and the father. You do not want to know what it's like to put up with the sacrifices you got to make as a dad. And let me use a descriptive term because some of y'all just ain't gonna let it go. Active dad. If you want to be, if you really want to be a dad, which is all you're doing when you say that is that you're like this for the single mothers out here talking about I'm the mother and the father because that's fucking shit is stupid. You don't want to be a dad. Trust me on this. If nature would have you born as the other gender, you probably could have became a dad like that then, and you probably be feeling the way I feel. But the scrutiny that comes with being a black dad, the one of the most disrespected groups of men ever, the American black dad, you don't want any of that. You don't want any of that, period. Hell, you didn't want any of that back in the day either. Like this is for these little feminists that the only reason why grandma didn't leave you is because she didn't have the money or the education, or she'd have left your abusive ass. Because we all believe that the color purple was real. Black dads back then, when they were family men, hardworking individuals, when they were business owners, these men were getting lynched to prevent the creation of any generational wealth for the children. Wanted to cut us off at the knees every fucking time. Look at Tulsa. Look at Black Wall Street. That's what happened when a lot of leaders stepped up and decided that they wanted to build their own community without dependency from any other outside sources. And they bombed that motherfucker. Black dads losing everything. But yet and still in the modern day, we call that the defeated black man. The conquered male. Anybody that says conquered male needs to walk in traffic, literally. I'm not even playing. Wait a minute. Let me not suggest, they call that bullying. Let me not suggest that y'all do something to yourselves. When I'm speaking very angrily right now, but it's not You don't have to do that. You don't. If I say walk in traffic, you don't have to walk in traffic. You don't do that. But at the same time, the sentiment is there. You're trying to prove every way, and with a massive obsession, trying to prove in every way that the black man is just no good. And then you try to hit below the belt because you're hitting fatherhood. I said this earlier, and I mean you, you can go you can go read my community tab. I had that comment. I said it's your fault you're a single mother. It's your fault. And they was like, what if your daughter becomes a single mother? It'll be her fault then too. Shit. I mean, you gotta stop. You can't sugarcoat some of this shit with kids. Look at what sugarcoating got us. It got us a mainstream media that was allowed to spoon feed you a narrative you willingly took because you did not want to be accountable. How many single mothers actually tell their kids the truth about what happened to their dad? How many? I mean, you hear he's just not there. He left us. He ain't shit. Beyond that. How many of y'all actually said, hey, you know what? I wasn't that great a person. I wasn't the ideal person to build a family with. We had a moment. You came about. That's what happened. How many of y'all are actually truthful about that? How many of y'all can actually discuss that in a mature manner without pointing the finger? Saying, hey, you know what? This one right here is on me. Because see, here's the thing. I don't believe that children are accidents. Like I say, if I believe you got pregnant, I believe it's because you wanted to get pregnant. Of all the women I've had sex with, was obviously besides my wife, I would say 98% of them asked me if I had a condom. Nah, I would say more roughly 75. Because, like, roughly 75, because I either pulled out a condom or I went and got one. Because, I wanted to prevent a pregnancy. And it's pretty obvious that all those young women wanted to prevent a pregnancy too. Or, they didn't know me from a bucket of salt or a can of paint. They didn't know me from that. Hell, I could have been carrying something. So basically, you're just playing roulette with your pussy. I hope he ain't got nothing. I hope I don't get pregnant. I hope he got a condom on. Oh, I can't look. If I look at his dick, I'll go blind. Like, what the fuck? Why is it that if all those women could ask me if I had a condom, or they didn't have to ask me because I already pulled one out, what makes me think that you can't ask them that? That you can't ask a man you had sex with if he got a condom? Sometimes condoms break. They got condoms of all sizes now. That's common knowledge. In 1991, in my health class, we had a sex ed part. And the sex ed teacher told us, old fat burly white coach, if you're going to have sex, and we know some of you are having sex, if you want to prevent a pregnancy, and he was telling the guys, he was not telling women that they needed to use birth control. He was telling the guys, because let me tell you something, the onus is always going to be on the men. It may not be that fair, but hey, he told us, wear a condom and a spermicidal lubricant. And there were women sitting in that class too. Now you got information at your fingertips. You got Google. You got smartphones. Even though everybody that carry a smartphone ain't necessarily all that smart. So you can't really sit up there and say that you don't have the education at your fingertips. that you don't know how people get pregnant. You don't know how babies get here. Hell, y'all know how babies get here. Some of y'all be in hotel rooms with your mother. Oh, God. I'm not. You can say anything you want about whoever on my side. I've heard it all. I heard it all. So it ain't really too much you can do to me to stop me from saying any of this bullshit. Or maybe not. Maybe it's not bullshit. Maybe it's more accurate than you're willing to admit. Because there's a bunch of dumbass excuses out here. And a lot of it that frustrates me is that a lot of black men don't defend against it enough. There's a small percentage of guys getting all the women pregnant. Shit, you can't even defend. You can't even defend with that. Shoot, all you have to do is look up stats, statistics, behaviors. All you got to do is that. Hell, life experience. Look, I'm tired of talking about myself. Like shit. I want black dads to be able to come up here and express, hey, this is bullshit, and yeah, this needs to stop. We need to reshape this narrative, and it's not gonna be reshaped by just being seen in public with your kid, because whenever I go to a business, I see it all the time. I see black dads with their children. I see black dads with their children and their wives. I spend enough time around black dads to know that we exist in droves. All right, let me shout out the chat. Shout out the chat. And yes, I have a super chat that I will read. Because, when I do a lot of this stuff, I don't really look at the chat because I'll get distracted because people be saying profound shit. And, I want to give it some attention. But Kareem Henry, I think that's you. Thank you for the super chat. Viscount Lavelle, Rogish the Billmonger, LaShawn Jefferson, Michaela Collins, Black Warrior Spirit, Judge Dre, Kareem Henry, bunch of emojis. But thank you for the super chat. Thank you all for whatever money you give this channel, because it only helps me develop a better platform. Not only for black men being brutally honest, but for the habitual line steppers, because long live the habitual line steppers. All right. Judge Dre. Oh man, this is the perfect show for tonight. I hope you're still down there, buddy. I'm about to drop this link. Like, this is your chance, black fathers. This is your chance to express yourselves. This is your chance. This is your chance to tell the world to kiss the left cheek and kiss the right cheek for however you got treated for being a black father, for however much bullshit that you've had to read, and how much shit we've had to take from our counterparts because so many of them made irresponsible ass decisions. So to all you proud pro-blacks that let that shit by, fuck you. For real, I don't see a group of pro-blacks really defending black fatherhood like that. They saying the same thing all the other bitches say. So hey, let's start promote being pro common sense. and just admit, if you're a shit stain, just carry the label with pride. Don't sit up here and try to convince everybody you're a bed of roses when you're an actual shit stain because you have some wild bug up your ass about black fathers. Well, you're talking to a black father tonight. So anyway, all right. Shaka Nulu, D Rock Dan, Hybrid Impact 83, Kayla Collins. That one right there. Yeah, you are something else. Toya, what's going on, girl? All right, let me drop this link. Drop this link. Okay. All right. And we got 35 watching. All right. We got 37 watching. Close the door, kids. Jesus. Hold on one second, y'all. All right. Just been a house full of family all weekend. But I tell you, family, you gotta love them. You got to love them. Yeah. Got to love family. Yeah. I don't know. When I think about days like this, I think about my father. I do think about my father, and my father is 74. He survived the Jim Crow era. I mean, he was in Montgomery, Alabama during the Jim Crow era. Okay. Uh, hold on one more time, please. Okay. All right. Yeah. My dad survived the Jim Crow era. He survived many confrontations with racist whites. Not too many though. That's like a crapshoot. Back then, if you had a bad experience with one, it might have been your last. But he had a couple of moments that I won't explain here, but it did result in a bloodied up racist. But I think about all the shit that he had to go through in his life, especially to provide for his family with 4 children, because his dad really wasn't a present dad. So he felt like what he had to do was he had to be better than that. He had to be a better man for his children, better than his dad did it. And he did it. I don't have any complaints. I mean, of course, my dad wasn't perfect. And odds are, if your dad was in your life, your dad wasn't perfect either. He's probably your hero, but he wasn't perfect. But he's my dad. And for him to survive Jim Crow and survive the violence that was invoked because of a nonviolent movement, because yeah, he was the type that would go to a march and to a protest. He was. For him to have to go through all of that and to have to face the disrespect that all of us black men have to face, especially around Father's Day, because what black fathers aren't the only fathers that exist. I mean, there are white fathers, there are Asian fathers, there are Mexican fathers, there are Russian fathers, Persian fathers. Yeah, but this channel is black men being brutally honest. First word is black. Meaning that I do care about the state of black fathers. I am proud of being a black father, no matter what ugly ass group of black people has anything negative to say about it. Those out of all those kids out there outside that door making noise right now and keep trying to rush this damn room that I'm in doing this broadcast. One of those kids are evidence that I am so proud to be a father. And when I listen to some old stupid ass slow step or some stupid bitch try to demonize black fatherhood, yes, it does trigger me. It does. What's that? Link goes to the show that has ended. One of the shows ended? Holy shit. Hold up. I put the wrong link in there. Okay. Damn. Sorry about that, Judge Dre. Damn, I thought I had that. Yeah. I see what I did wrong. I see what I did wrong. Ricardo Rodney, what's going on? Jesus. Oh, getting old. All right, that's the real link. The previous link, pay no attention to that. That's the real link right there. Yeah, so we got 41 watching. I have how many likes? Is that accurate? 29 likes. Yep, 29 likes. So, if you one of the people watching, likely one of those likes isn't yours. So go ahead and hit that like button. And what up, Judge Dre? What's going on?
What's going on, man?
All right. Oh, you're a
But
little quiet over there. Wait a minute. Wait.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. That was on me.
Okay. But what I'll go ahead and say is I totally agree with what you say, and I believe I'm not even gonna lie. I believe it may be a little our fault because the fact is we've just been taking too much shit. We've been, like you said, I'm going to try to be a better father than my dad was, and I don't want to be like that. So, unfortunately, I think the women have realized that the men are growing up. No, I don't want to be in that category as my dad was. So, I'm going to put up with more and more shit. And I think that what they've done is kind of like a frog in hot water. They just took boost the shit up, more shit that you putting up with. And what I've noticed, when it comes with everything, the more shit that the only bad fathers out here are technically when you ask a question 3, 4 levels deep, it is technically the nigga left because he got tired of putting up with my shit. That's basically what it is. You put the guy in a rock and a hard place. Either he's gonna hit you upside the head and go to jail, or he's gonna go nuts and kill himself. I mean, it's a lose-lose situation. So most of the men just walk away because that's the only way to self-preservation. You know you're not going to win in the court of public opinion. You're not going to win in the court of public, period, in the court, in the real courts. So what do people have to do? What do they do? The only thing is self-preservation. They walk away. And then it looks bad. Oh, I was with a dude. He just left this, that. No, it wasn't the fact that that is just the fact that you was just a pain in the behind. And he decided that the only thing he could do was just get away from you. Because they know there's just no father out there that didn't that wants his children to grow up in life and not have the skills and the information to make themselves as productive as possible. We know that because especially when you have a boy, because you know how it is. The world looks at you different. There's things that are expected of you. You're not allowed to have a bad day mentally or because you done in your feelings and screw your damn life up. A bad day for a man, if you having a bad day and say you going off yelling, screaming, and hollering, that could end up with a bullet in your head. You know that certain things it's just not acceptable. And then what I've seen that they've just done is they've just put more and more and just taken told them, if you say anything, you just weak. So then most of the people are just keeping so much shit bottled
Hey,
in.
you okay? There you go. There you go.
And I mean, they've come to a breaking point. A lot of people, the only thing they're breaking. Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, I can hear you were kind of borging a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, we
Go
really
ahead.
like it really does take a lot to just be a black man in this day and age because of the fact of everything you just mentioned. It's like you can either put up with the bullshit or like you said, self preservation, walk away, and those don't seem like two good options at all.
No, they're
Nikayla, what's
not.
up? Nikayla, what's up? You sitting up here? What's going on? What are your thoughts? Nikayla, are you there?
Are you muted? She's muted. She doesn't
Yeah,
realize it.
yeah, you're muted. You're gonna have to unmute yourself. Well, okay, whenever she's ready. But yeah, let's continue with this. Um, why do you think that like a lot of females that have dads stick to that narrative? In your opinion?
Oh, I tell let you know the reason why is because when you stick to the narrative right there, people don't ask like it don't ask questions 3 levels deep. People, oh, he just left me and didn't do this, that, and the other. Because even if you wonder, you'll be like, well, I've heard relationships where, and I've heard about it. She said, well, she had busted the dude's windows out of his car and this, that, and the other. So then, like next week, when it was time when he would normally kick her $150 or whatever, he didn't give her the money. Oh, he still should have gave her the money. Well, what did you do? You just destroyed the man's car. How's he gonna get to work? Well, it don't mean nothing. You should just because she did that, she still could have gave him the money. I'm like, you realize you just destroyed the man's transportation for him to get to work, and then you still expect him to give you your normal money that he does on the weekend. I mean, you can't make this shit up.
Yeah, and as crazy as that sound, that shit happens every fucking day. But Nikayla, I noticed you came off of mute. What's up? Mm. Listen up, people. I'm gonna tell y'all just like this. If you step up on this panel, be ready to discuss the topic, or yeah, that's right. Drop down, cause that was. I think she was trying to do like she was trying to do last night, kind of just get a little attention. I mean, it's whatever. If you want to participate in the topic, that's when you come up here because sometimes there'll be 10 people up there. There's people trying to get on, and just make use of the spot. I don't care if it's just us two up here. So anyway, yeah, I don't know, man. It's just that it may not be mentally healthy to be on social media for certain days. I'll put it to you this way because a lot of that angry spirit came from the fact that every fucking year it's the same way. It's the same fucking way. I don't care how good a lot of these people's fathers are. They're gonna stick to that crap.
Mhm. Well, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm to the point like to see this to realize that I was just waiting for my youngest to get 18. She just turned 18 last month. I
Hmm.
said, you might already thought that I was outspoken. Now all my children are adults now, right? So now you might have just figured that you knew a lot about my life. Now I'm about to let out details and name names because this is the problem is the reason why we ain't letting out details and naming names. People ain't taking flack for the shit. And now I hate to say it, I was sitting there talking to a friend of mine today. I told her, I said, it is. I'm tired of sitting up here turning the other cheek. I'm about to be a straight up asshole, just straight up. I'm just calling it like it is. I usually try to sugarcoat and help people's feelings. Like you might think that I'm a kind of out there and I really hit people, but no, trust me, that's actually light considering how I normally feel, and my family members know that's kind of light for you, you know. But the problem is the reason why we don't say nothing. The people don't take the flack People, when they come out and lie or when they play the bullshit games, they don't take the slack. And as long as the men ain't sitting up there talking about it and talking about the shit that they do, that's why they try to stifle the voice so much, because they don't want to get out there. They know exactly what they're doing. I mean,
Like,
like if you with your baby mama, haven't you noticed they put more and more? It's like you said, these shit tests for say for your woman that you with is stupid. Your shit test for your baby daddy that you then had a kid with is stupid. After you done gone to that extreme, it should be okay. How we gonna come to some type of agreement? Not how much more can I get out of the person.
mm, yeah. Uh, this the narrative that led to all of this horrible behavior and selfishness. Where were the brothers when this narrative was growing? Where were we? Where? I mean, what? How did it grow so big? How did it get to the point where it's just like, even if like I said earlier, even if the dads was there, even if they came from a neighborhood that was mostly two parent neighborhoods, they still go with that narrative. You know.
Because it's the status quo, and unfortunately, one of the things I can say, the women, we got to a question of capitalize where we don't question them. And a good way to tell you, best way to ask to upset a woman, start asking her questions on something that she don't agree with. Once you start asking a woman questions, they've made a good defense where it's like that can start an attitude. So a lot of times people would just be like, "Fuck it, I'm not going to ask any questions," because they already know that can lead to a fight and an argument. And next thing you know, the woman gonna sit up here and talk about you or say some shit outside her neck, and you're gonna look like the bad guy no matter what. Because I've seen so many arguments where just a person just asked a question. What, you think that I didn't do this? That? You know what I mean? It's like, well, I didn't say that. I asked a question. No, but by you asking that question, that must mean, and you'd be like, well, evidently by you reacting to it, that you must have done something that made that dude walk away. And I said, because I said last time I checked, I can't recall not one time I heard a dude say, "Hey, man, I'm leaving because I don't like my kid." I can't. I mean, like, have you ever heard a guy say that? Hello? I think you're muted.
Oh, okay. I've heard. I'm sorry about that. I was double muted. I heard one guy ever
Right.
say
I've
say
heard a lot
say
of it.
say like, I didn't want them damn kids anyway.
Oh,
I
well, I
I
don't say
one
one.
one.
Okay, I can say that I never. I remember I told you I said I didn't want any children at that time because I wasn't. I knew what it entailed to bring to have a child. I knew that what would be expected of me, and I knew at the time I didn't have enough money and resources. That yeah, I've said that plenty of times. You know, but
Mm,
women look at it as, oh well, fine, well, we'll just make do. And I'm like, you just can't just go off on that half million. You don't realize what it takes to raise a child. It takes a lot of resources, a lot of time, energy, and effort, and it takes a certain mental capacity. You just can't wing it when it comes to raising a child. And I think in the black community, a lot of times, what do we want to do? We just want to wing it, and that's the reason why we got the fucked up results we have now. Because too many of us are just winging it.
mm-hmm.
No planning, no nothing. Like I remember with hey man, when we was just having sex, hey, we don't want no kids, right? So okay, so if something come up and happen, we gonna take care of that, right? Oh yeah, yeah, we ain't having no kids no time soon. And then all of a sudden, a month or two, 3 months later, all of a sudden, one of your friends didn't had a baby, so now you want to have one, or your sister pregnant, so now you want. Oh well, our kids can play together, and next minute you know what I mean? You see, a lot of times the parents they look at the children as toys.
Mm. I can kind of get that a little bit because I mean it's so cute when they're babies, but when they start growing and growing and growing and start talking and thinking for themselves.
Right. You want to say, so you realize that's another human being right there. And I try to tell them all the time, realize it's another human being. I know that another person has a different opinion than me because sometimes my children have different opinions than me. I don't hit them upside the head or nothing just because they got a different opinion than I do, well, because I know that I'm kind of against the grain anyway.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
tell me
why would
about
I
it.
be upset? Right? Why would I be upset at them for that? I, hey, I am. So,
Yeah,
oh, damn.
yeah. Having a child to do that to you sometimes. They'll
Oh,
present they'll present a perspective out of left field, and then you'll be like, where did they come up with this? Like,
yeah.
are they even supposed to be this smart at this point? But hey, rather than be that parent, that becomes the maniac and just say you just gonna do what the fuck do what the fuck I want you to think, how the fuck I
Do
want
what
you
I
to
say.
think.
Right.
I just try to be more constructive about
No,
it
no,
and
I
try to
understand.
actually break down and think. And I will still let the child know, no, you're still just a child. But I'll temper, or I'll make sure I treat them in such a way that isn't, I guess, condescending, so to speak. I mean, but like I said, they're still a child. But at the same time, I keep this in mind as a parent. That child's gonna grow up one day, and when they think back on certain moments, they're gonna decide whether it was smart or stupid anyway. It's pretty obvious that kids, they grow up and have the mental capacity to decide, you know, how their parents were, or whether to agree with the philosophies that their parents presented or not. And we know this, and it's because of the deadbeat dad narrative. Kids are so inundated about black fathers to the point where they don't care when they get to that age. Um,
Well, I
so
watch the film, man. Okay, go ahead.
uh,
You want me to go?
no, no, go ahead, Dre. Go ahead, Dre. Go ahead.
I watch Adam. Okay, I still live in a childhood home that was owned by part of our family when I grew up. So basically, a lot of my neighbors that I share with on the street, they knew me. A friend of mine who grew up across the street, I'm still cool with his dad. I remember back to one of his. I remember some of the comments his dad made saying that I was kind of a weakling like that because I didn't have a man in the house, and I totally understand as I got older. I may have thought it was a smartly insult back then, but I hate to say, me and him have developed a real good relationship, since I've gotten older. And I remember he was talking to one of his sons, and this is one of his sons who's same age as me, but he doesn't have a child yet. Okay, so he doesn't have any kids. And I sit up here, and I remember one of the time he was sitting there talking to his dad, and we were all having a conversation, and he was kind of like just reading his dad the riot act. And I just told him, I said, man, I said, I'm just going to tell you like this. I said, yeah, remember, I grew up with you. I saw some of the stuff your dad did because we were neighbors. So, you kind of, and I was always at your house, you was always at my house. But I said, most of these men, they're learning on the fly too. And you had a lot better. I said, he was sitting up here like down on his dad saying, oh, he could have done this, that. I remember one of the times I did this, and then he came home from work, and then he did this, and I got my ass whipped because of this, that. And he was kind of upset about it. And I said, well, just because you got your ass whipped that time right there, and you might have thought it was a minute, 9 times out of 10, it was building on other stuff you had did that week. And I said, one of the things I've noticed that we set the bar so high on fathers where it's damn near impossible to reach. Like you could be a millionaire, they'll still be like, well, you don't spend enough quality time with them. I mean, you can be Jeff Bezos and you done founded Amazon and done built 4 companies. Well, you don't spend enough time. You didn't go to enough basketball ball games. Well, which one is it? I mean, you're not going to, unfortunately, it's becoming to a point where you're not going to win in this situation, no matter what. It's like you're always going to come out. You got more resources. 9 times out of 10, you don't have enough time. You got more time. 9 times out of 10, you don't have enough resources. So you're still going to get screwed either way. Okay, I got to step in the store for a minute. So you can go ahead and talk.
Oh yeah, let me get some shout outs. Let me get some shout outs. See Blu-ray down there. What's going on? Thanks for. Oh yeah, and this is name of the night right here. Fix my sandwich heifer. What's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I see Black Warrior Spirit down there. So, yeah, this is this is my message to the willfully ignorant. It ain't my fault. It ain't my fault.
Did I do
Uh,
that?
yeah, yeah. Life ain't fair. It's not. It's not fair. But I'm not gonna say that in the light of just because my dad was there and just because I'm putting up an effort to be the best dad for my kid possible. That does not make me a better person than you. But
No, it doesn't.
no, but at the same time, don't think you're a better person just because you're a single mom, or don't think you're a better person because you're a guy who has multiple baby mamas. Now, if you are a guy who has multiple baby mamas, and let's talk from the baby mama side of that. If you're one of the baby mamas and you know this man has other kids, and you were the last baby mama, you should never, ever, ever come on anyone's platform talking about black men. Period. In a negative manner. Because do you really fucking realize what you just did to your child? Do you know what you did? Say I'm the mama and I'm the mother and the father. Like I took out that hidden dick out between my legs and impregnated myself. Like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Like,
You funny.
I don't even, I don't even want to like. I don't even want to cut. Like, I don't even want. I try to make it rare where I talk like this up here because, like, you guys have given me so much credibility to the point where I can't really come up here like that and just lose character. But this is one of the thing. This is one of the sentiments that has gotten on my nerves so badly to the point where it's just that somebody got to say something.
No, you ain't supposed to say nothing right there because that would entail that you're holding certain people accountable, or you're gonna hurt somebody's feelings. I hate to say, 2021 need to be the year of hurting motherfuckers' feelings, especially. I mean,
Feeling.
men need to adopt that what the women have done. They don't really get. They come into a nonchalant to where they gonna say whatever they want. So we need to. What the hell? Oh, okay. But we need to. Hey, I figure what if people can say whatever they want, it's time for us to start saying whatever we want to. At least
Yeah,
we know when we say something, we know there's consequences behind it.
and also, and also, I didn't come here to because I wanted a cookie either for being a dad. You know, to keep y'all cookie. I don't need it. I mean, I understand that being a dad in this day and age, especially in this Western culture, is a thankless job. It's thankless. I should not expect thank yous or recognition for something that I am just supposed to do. You
Well,
know.
wait a minute. On Mother's Day, they expect that.
Yeah. But they're different. They're women. That-
Oh,
that's what they'll tell you.
oh.
They're
But
women.
I thought we were equal.
Uh, well, they have a different definition of equal.
Oh, man, thank you for checking this line. Oh, I didn't realize that, bro.
Listen to me, respect me, un- understand, understand. That's what they call total compliance. Understand. But I'm just saying, man. It's like I'm just saying. It's like you got to think about the kind of person you are before you come up here ranting and raving. About about shit that is. I don't know. I just don't like people who complain about generalizations being made, but they have gone with that massive generalization for so long.
All right. They don't mind the generalization when they're benefiting from it. Like this is like you don't see them complaining as long as it's to their benefit. And unfortunately, it's just it's just a lot of men. What the men have done, they've done it in a way. They've done a self-preservation way by walking away and doing all this. Fool, if you don't get your behind out of the way. Uh, they're walking away in self-preservation, but unfortunately, by them walking away and not speaking up and not really giving people a piece of their mind, unfortunately, it's just allowed the problem to manifest to even deeper. And that's the problem with the whole thing. It's gotten way out of hand because we don't. It's like one of the things. It's like, oh well, yeah, we know that what the problem is, but we ain't speaking on the problem because a lot of us don't want the flack to be canceled or something like that. 'Cause, they take that stuff and run with it. I remember I was on a panel and I said, "Oh yeah, I would love for my daughter to marry a rich man." you know? And then she would say, or as they say, a high value dude. Oh my gosh, yep, he was sitting up there saying that he would want his daughter to be a slave to a man with money. Like, I didn't say that. If a
Hey,
dude was well off, right?
that's called a straw man argument.
Yeah, that's their forte, and you sit up here and be like, whatever. I said because one, I know that women might think that they want to be all this and do work for 40 years in the same field, but as you see, most of them when they get older, even I saw that with my mom. They didn't want to work no more. Thank God that my mom was able to get married, and actually she got a man who really loves her, and like I even sitting there, and I told him, I said, man. It is a remarkable thing, and I tell you, man, I give you so much props. I said when this whole COVID thing went down and all this crap, I said never at one time did I ever worry about my mom's safety. Like when all these other people whose parents are single and all that crap and don't have, I had never once, oh, my mom ain't gonna be safe because I knew that she was married and taken care of.
Mm.
you know?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. My parents, like somebody when I made a comment, somebody made a style remark. Just say if your mom and daddy wasn't shit. I was like, okay, well, they were together for 54 years. I
Right,
mean, do you have any hope in your fucking life of doing that?
right.
If not, then you can shut the fuck up because you're already on year number 5 without it. Yeah, that is just people. It's like people make me say shit to them like that I would not say to a normal person because it's like I know if I say some shit to some of these folks like that I say to some of these stupid ass niggas on these damn platforms, man, dude, they start swinging on me and shit. Morning, I swing back. But what up, Y Skinner?
Hey, happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to you, mid gentlemen, as well. Oh, by the way, let me start off with you like this, Y Skinner. Okay, you're a father, correct?
Yes,
Okay, and how old is your youngest?
he's 40.
40. Oh, okay, so
Hmm.
we might not be in the time period, for me to even ask this question. Cause see, mine is 6, and I remember when she was a baby, I used to go to various places with her, and I used to get this look like everybody just want to walk up to me and give me a pat on the back it's like, yeah, and I even heard somebody make the comment, um, that, oh yeah, we need to see more of this. Oh, the black dads out here. Oh, we need to see. And then I was just like, man, get the fuck out my face, man. Ain't no we need to see more. And then like, because like look around you. Because I told the man, look around you. Look around you. See that over there? And then okay, then I point another direction. You see that right there, dude? You need to keep your eyes peeled a little bit more. It's
Mhm.
like, before you make these dumbass arguments, you know. But I don't know, like, why Skinner. I like what I was saying was, you say your youngest is 40. I don't know if you can relate to an experience like that. I don't know if they used to look at you the same way when your kids were babies, and maybe it was a little bit more common back then for a nuclear family structure to exist. Or
Yes.
yeah. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. It was.
Okay. Yeah. So
So
and they still do exist, but they're down they're they're downplayed. They're
yeah.
downplayed, and because of, I don't know, I guess the single mother rate, it's downplayed because of that too, because people want to act like that every one of these baby mamas out here, there was one baby to one man. That's the framing they give you, when
Hmm.
they know it's probably shit. I don't know if I said that. I don't know if I said that correctly, because that wouldn't. Yeah, because it
I
is
know what you
technically,
mean. It's
it
true.
is one baby to one man, but how many baby daddies per baby
Yeah.
mama? Yeah, that
E-
probably sounds a little bit more of
Even
what I was
though
trying to sound.
um, when my wife used to go to certain places for business, taking care of business or something, they would assume that she was a single parent. But even back then, and I'm talking about early '80s, and everywhere she go, they'd be like, "Okay, so you're a single parent, right?" And she'd be like, "No, I'm married, sir." So even back in the early '80s, they just assumed that the woman was a single parent. Sure did.
Okay,
They
yeah. Oh,
almost
you
looked
took.
at it as a single parent was being strong. Do you believe that that was a factor?
Say what now?
Do you believe, like back then, that feminist movement was taking off really big? And I believe back then a lot of women thought, oh yeah, being a single parent meant that they kind of sold it as if, oh yeah, I'm
Yeah,
strong because I'm
yeah,
a single parent.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was just kind of kicking off then. It wasn't near as bad as it is now, but it was kind of kicking off then.
So,
So
oh, well, wait a minute. So you noticed that a lot of women kind of thought that it was like a badge of honor to say, yeah, I'm a single parent and I'm doing it.
well, no, no, they didn't. It wasn't no badge of honor. Uh,
It wasn't that bad yet, huh?
no, it wasn't. It wasn't. Man, the way it is now, it's not even close. I mean, it's just really bad now. Back then, it was kind of a silent thing, though. You know, that's why I was saying, they kind of thought she was, but it wasn't that many that had, that was single parents. But there was some women that had kids. Like my wife had a kid when I met her, but and back then with me and back then it really wasn't a big deal for a guy to get with a woman that had a kid. But the women back then, and it was altogether different, man. Those women just come from different. That's just a different bloodline. You think about, baby boomers. Uh, even though that shit kind of did get started, but we all got married, and we didn't really have to deal with it. You know, our women, our wives, we married wives. You know, but yeah, they thought she was a single parent. So you talking about 85 somewhere in there? So I don't know if this movement was just kicking off. You say you think 85?
A lot of this. Let me tell you something, man. A lot of that shit coincided with the timing of everything. Like, first of all, you had the inception of I don't know. Was Gloria Steinem second wave feminism? Then
Mm,
you had the
I think
tough on crime era. You know, then you had the crack epidemic, the welfare system. It was so many things
wasn't
that
it
were in place and had the strangest kind of timing that
right?
just destroyed everything at once.
See, I
But
got married. I
here's
got married in '80. Excuse me. And the first year that I got married was the first year that I had heard about freebasing. Y'all remember freebasing?
yeah, freebasing. I still don't have a clear idea what that is.
That was smoking cocaine.
Oh, smoking cocaine. Oh, that was freebasing. Oh, okay.
That was freebasing. So I guess y'all don't remember that, huh?
No, I remember the term freebasing, but I never understood exactly what that was. I knew it was drug related. I didn't know it was smoking cocaine.
Yes,
I didn't
yes.
know that. This is the first time I've ever heard what
Really?
freebasing. Yeah, this is the first time I ever heard what freebasing actually is.
Yeah, it was when you they would take pure cocaine. Well, not really. What they would do, it wasn't completely pure, but they would boil it and get the pure out of it, and then put it in a pipe and smoke it, and that was real potent. That was a little bit. That was right before the crack, because crack was a little bit different. They changed it. They added something else to it. See, when they were smoking pure cocaine, it wasn't really as addictive as the crack was, because the crack had something added to it, and so freebasing was smoking pure cocaine. And I remember that in 1980, because that's the year that I got married, and that's the first year that it started. I thought maybe y'all had heard of freebasing. I mean of smoking pure cocaine. I guess you
Uh,
didn't.
yeah, like I said, I heard the term
Hmm.
freebasing,
Uh huh.
but
But anyway,
yeah,
I
yeah.
had a
Let me answer Sir Anthony's question anyway. We got to this part of the conversation because I had mentioned all of the things that coincided with each other and the
uh
timing
huh.
of it, that really ripped apart and destroyed the black family. But here's the thing: we also have to factor in this one thing that people rarely talk about, and it's human choice. The human choices that people made to participate in the destruction, because we got to understand that whether there were choices made or not, there were a lot of us that understood what was going on. It was a lot of us that understood what would happen if this were to occur, and we still made that choice. So is like, yes, all the factors that I did name had something to
Hmm.
do with it, but you throw human choice into all of that, and then that's when it comes together.
Uh,
Well, well, see, a lot of times what they like to do is, like I said, everybody no accountability. And I believe, like I said, yeah, the factors factored in, and then you add no accountability. To me, it's like, I hate to say, you created a generation of people who are easily controlled. And unfortunately, easily controlled in some aspects, but in other aspects, it's like you realize these people will never, or it will be very difficult for them to ever be successful or very, very productive. Or, the only productivity they'll have is they'll go to work to buy some little trinkets. So you keep these people in debt. I mean, you've taken all the structure away, and basically these people are living day by day, which is easily for them to control with the media and their way of thinking and all like that. And that's you created a race of a group of people who will never be as productive or as successful as groups that weren't exposed to that. It's
Well,
like shooting them in the foot. You know, and,
but you know,
and you talk.
you had people who like tried, the crack. They may have
Mhm.
tried it for like a month or so, and they was like, "Oh well, no, I ain't dealing with that," and got off. Didn't even do it no more.
Mhm.
So they made a choice to say, "Well, this ain't about nothing,"
Uh,
and went on. But you had some people that did. You had some people who just
I,
got on it and never got off.
Well, I think that when it comes to our drug use and stuff like that, especially, I think the drug use among people is really more of an escape. And unfortunately, I believe that depending on how stressful a person's life is, they're more likely to be, to get hooked on a basically drug, alcohol, whatever, pills, whatever you do. They're more likely because I think that they use that as an escape for all the stresses in the world. That's why I believe that it always hits the black people harder because we live a harder life.
Yeah,
And what I've noticed that it's like sometimes as you realize, look, man, I'm tired of always having to keep all this shit bottled in. I can't tell nobody shit or I look weak. And basically, the first time I express myself, then I get basically that means I get even 10 times more flack that I gotta put up with. I mean, it takes a strong person to admit to some things that they have done and actually be able to, especially because later on people will definitely throw that in your face, and you got to make sure that you're not one of those ones that will be bothered by it, because it takes a very strong person. Sometimes I don't even believe that how strong I am, because it's like the stuff that I've admitted to, and where most people are, nah, they ain't gonna come out and say that, or the stuff that where I might have an opinion that people might have thought it, but they damn sure ain't gonna open their mouth and say it. It
right,
takes you because
right,
you gotta take the flack that comes along with that.
right,
Like I had to even tell my children at one time. Well, they asked me when they got older. I said, I'm just gonna be honest. And it's not that I didn't love you or nothing like that. Is I looked at it from a logical point of view. I knew that I wasn't making that much. I was making more money than her, but she wasn't. And I looked at it as we can't have a kid. You realize how much money it takes to raise a child? And you sitting up here thinking we can just wing it, or we can get the help from here and help from this person. Help. I said, you don't want to sit up here and live your life depending on help. I said, that's a stupid way to go about things. I said, because the help could be gone tomorrow. The person could die. That's not a way to live life. But I think that a lot of us, we kind of done that. Oh, well, it'll be all right because of this program or that program or my cousin will help or this, that, and the other. And you don't realize you're just setting yourself up for a really hard life. And you're putting the children really in jeopardy because they're not getting what they need. So you're not starting them off on the right foot to be productive. So you're shooting them in the foot too. So sometimes you got to watch out. It's not that you're shooting yourself; you're shooting the kid in the foot too. You put him at an unfair advantage.
right. That's why you decide to have one kid, two kids, three, four, five.
Hmm.
You have to make that decision.
Right.
'Cause
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, do some of these even realize the situations they put their children in, or Were they just thinking about, oh, I was just having a good time and I ain't thinking about the consequences afterwards?
They'll never come out and say that. But basically, is this is the problem too, and I think that we've created a society that certain individuals will always get a oh, don't worry, it'll be all right, or always get help. And unfortunately, I think that we, after a couple of generations of this always hand out help, that now eventually this money is running out, and now we're going to actually see the problems with this. You know, we created a generation focused on they're always assuming someone else to come out and help and pay, or always assuming somebody else to give them consideration, or to feel sorry for them. And unfortunately, I think that now this younger generation, a lot of them, if they even wised up, they're not as having as many kids out like that, because they realize that, hey, some of these people, it's nothing happening there. These programs ain't gonna always be there. That's the reason why you see all these children that are ill raised, because basically, this child wasn't planned out and characterized. You just figure, oh, it was something to keep me from getting thrown out of the house. All I do is sit them in front of the TV or the Xbox and let the media raise them. And the media loves it because they figure, oh, good, we got some person sitting in front of the TV or on Instagram all day that we can I got another advertise. You just created a whole revenue stream for billions of companies,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna keep them poor because they're looking for the next trinket. They'll never own nothing. I mean, it's like really sad when you look at some of these, and you be like, wow, you look at you come from lineage or your family owns shit, and you don't want to do nothing to get anything.
This
You
lady
know,
was on KS show. I think it was Kevin's show, and I think she had 3 kids, and then she had another one, and she was talking about, well, I went on and had it because I got my auntie around here, and my grandmother's around
yeah.
here, and so I knew the baby was gonna be taken care of, so she just had a baby just for the sake that I got all this help around me.
Oh, got you beat. I just went to a family reunion with a friend of mine's, and so she had her sisters there. One of the sisters had a daughter. Daughter got 4 kids, right? So you go down here, and I spent a week with them. So that's why I was that week where y'all saw me out of town. So you see how people react once you spend a week with these people. And this girl didn't pay no attention to these kids whatsoever. If it wasn't for the grandma raising the kids, it wouldn't be funny. And I'm like, you got 4 kids. And so I sit up here, they spent a week. I spent a week down there with them. Okay, fine. We come back to Cleveland, right? 2 days later, the grandma's up here with all 4 kids, and she's staying for like the next 2 months. So that go to show you what type of mother she is. You know what I mean? Because and like the mother didn't pay no attention to the children while she was there. It was just like, wow,
Yeah,
And it was just really sad. I felt sad for the kids because I was looking like, and I mean, and after a while, the kids, I form a bond with kids, unfortunately. And so the kids were really enjoying sitting there talking, oh, you the cool cousin. And they always come and run up and talk to me. And like me right now, that they're here in Cleveland, they always keep running up, oh, and say something to me. But to know that these poor children, I'll be damned, you took my pump, Negro. All right, these poor children are gonna have a bad shot at life because mom technically, still partying every weekend, all that shit. She's one of those ones leave on Friday, come back Monday, you know,
yeah, yeah,
and it's just sad because
yeah.
I'm like these kids weren't planned, and you got 4 kids, 3 daddies. The only reason why that 2 of them are about the same daddy is because they're twins. And it's like,
But they'll be liking grandmother more than they do their own mama.
oh, oh yeah, they like that. They with grandma like as you sit here. Now think about it. You come and your kids leave for months at a time. And it's just like, I even saw you let the kid run around with a diaper on that was stored for way too long. And it was just like, wow, you know. And you just sit up here and I felt sorry for the little boys, you know.
Mm,
The two oldest girls, all they do is sit on their iPhone all day, so you know what type of crap they're consuming.
yeah, yeah. Don't spend $1,100 on on an iPhone.
You know, but they sit on
Right.
the iPhone. All they do. It's sad.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, Sir Anthony, thank you for the Cash App. Really appreciate it, brother. All right.
I
Sad.
had a pretty good Father's Day today, guys.
Oh yeah, yeah. Me,
Yeah, I
me,
did.
me.
I did.
I, I did as well. I did mention that I had family in town, so the wives of all of us, they got together. They cooked us a breakfast. They made us shrimp and grits this morning, and they were
Oh
very
man.
yeah, it was very delicious. You know, I appreciated that.
Oh, you got hooked up, man.
Yeah, then took the kids. Took the kids to have some fun, and now we're here
Yeah.
on a yet another Father's Day, which is technically over. It's Monday now,
Mhm.
so
Yeah, my son took me to dinner uh, about 3 o'clock, and I invited my girlfriend too, and she showed up, and I just met her like about a month ago, and yeah, I might be then at this age. I didn't think I ever get married again. I'm not saying I'm gonna get married, but I ain't gonna say I hit the jackpot, but this might turn out to be okay for me. I'll keep y'all informed.
I mean, and the best of luck, man. Best of luck.
So
Well, that's the luxury. You can find one in this day and age. You're right, man.
yeah,
Uh,
she's 4 years younger than me, but so far so good, man. I mean, I'm saying the man upstairs must be looking out for me. But he bought her dinner. She brought me a card, and I wasn't really expecting no card from her. And I opened up the card, and had a little something in it.
oh shoot, go for it.
Yeah. So I had a pretty good Father's Day. Shout out to my son. Shout out to my son for doing that for me. And shout out to my dad because I thought he was the best dad in the world.
Yeah,
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
yeah. What about your dad, Dre? If you don't mind me asking.
Oh, my dad, he don't speak to me.
Oh,
Remember, you
okay.
knew about that. My dad. What's so bad sitting left? My dad only lived maybe 2 miles from me.
But that,
But
Wow.
I mean,
yeah,
that
like
that
literally, I think that him and my mom fell out for some reason. I could not tell you because my mom never said anything. Remember, I told this story before. My mom never said anything bad about him. But ever since then, it's like last time I saw him, I was actually went to my grandmother on his side's funeral, and he was he was he just basically stood there while I was talking to him. He really didn't have nothing to say, but I believe I don't know. Maybe my mom could have done. What I mean, I don't put it past her because she's done some foul shit before. Maybe she done some shit and really pissed him off, and his way of coping was to take it out and just not have nothing to do with our side of the family.
I don't understand that. What they got to do with you?
Yes, I don't know, but I mean, like I said, I can't say anything. Huh? No, I don't need my gas pump, man. But yeah. So, but I believe that's what it was, and ever since then, it's just what it is.
Mm.
yeah, yeah. Well, I'm sorry about that happening to you, Dre. And the reason why I would say that, despite the fact that I said what I said about women, I mean, like people who didn't have their fathers. I know that there are a lot of cases where that the fathers were actually deadbeats, that they actually did not want to be there for the kids and use their disdain for the baby mama or child's mother as an excuse not to have a relationship with the child. And I do get that those exist. Nobody
Let me
is
get
making
15
excuses.
on 8, man.
Go ahead, go ahead. Oh,
No,
okay.
no, go ahead. But yeah, I think that what happened was, um, huh? Oh, tap the screen?
He's
Yeah, I'm gonna
he's
go.
handling some business right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Go ahead and mute me. I'm sorry. I'm away from the car.
Okay.
And
Okay. Shoot, I thought he was talking to the broadcast for a second.
uh, but I did see something that was really disturbing at the dinner. We went to this restaurant that I've been to this area before here, and my girlfriend was already there. And when I walked in, I spoke to her and everything. She was saying, "Do you know what area you picked?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I've been in this area before." She said, "Well, it's rainbow all over this area, in the streets and everywhere."
Mm,
And I'm like, "What?" She said, "Yeah, look walking through the door there." I mean, it was about Kev. I tell you, I could have counted. It was about 200 black men in there, rainbow.
uh, you,
And man, I was like, I felt bad because I was thinking about how many of those guys could be fathers, and, probably most of them probably not. So I
let,
was like,
let, let me just throw that out there.
Can you hear me now?
That archetype to me is not the ideal father, and believe it or not, a lot of them might be married and a father.
my son was saying that. My son was saying some
Can
of
you
them
hear me
might
now?
might might
Yeah,
might
I can
have
hear you.
yeah. My son was saying, "Daddy,
Hello.
some of them might
Okay,
have
I
kids."
didn't know that. Well, I'll go ahead and say this too, like, because it sounded like I was coming down hard on my dad, but I remember, like I told you, I know my mom, and my mom had to do a lot of growing up, and because I've seen some tedious shit my mom has done, so that probably could have been the reason why, where his self-preservation might have been just, you know what I mean, stay away from our side of the family, you know, because I've seen some petty shit that my mom has done before. And just because I love my mom to death, don't mean that I'm not gonna sit up here and put some shit past her because I've seen some stuff she's done. I think that one of the things I noticed that starts with my oldest son relationship. I notice is that it's like if I say something and I just tell you the truth, I get penalized. But you've seen the petty crap your mom has done, and mom gets a pass. Like my oldest son, he stopped speaking to me over 2 years ago over a conversation I told him about basically, you have to be careful. You're going away to college, this, that, and the other. Protect yourself. You got to put because of these reasons like this. My son walked away from me saying, "Oh, you talk bad about women," and I'm like, "I talk bad about women, as you say, but I'm such a bad guy. But yet you still talking to your mama who put you out 3 weeks ago. So something you didn't do, but I'm the bad guy."
Hmm.
Oh yeah, there are a
And
lot.
I told her, I said, "For real, that's kind of fucked." I said, "That's what I said." So you realize your mama put you out, knowing you had no place to go. But I'm the bad guy for just telling you you have to watch, be careful because unfortunately, once somebody get, women once they get in their feelings, anything is liable to happen. I even told him, I said, well, look what happened to you. You weren't even involved in that argument, but all of a sudden you get kicked out. And then all of a sudden, no, you just talk bad about women. I'm like, no, that was what your mama did to you. That had nothing to do with me. I wasn't there. I'm listening to the story from what you told me. And now it's like, and I sit here and laugh. It was like, wow, you still sitting up here talking to her like everything all fine. But dad got the flack for telling you, oh, she just got in her feelings. That's the reason why you got kicked out.
Mm.
All right, hold on one second. Y'all continue talking. Hold on one second.
Yeah, Joe, did you hear me telling him about when I went out to dinner? And
With the card and everything, you got a card. I heard you say that,
yeah,
but remember, when I stepped in the gas station, you know how the pumps run up. Everybody trying to, man, can I pump your gas? Can I do this? And then dude sitting up here trying to holler at two thoughts in the damn. I'm like, dude, all you looking at is two child support payments, so he ain't paying attention to shit.
yeah, it was about. I had been in this area before where the restaurant was. And I walked through the door, and my girlfriend was like, Do you know what your surrounding is like?" I said, "No." She said, "Well, look through the front door." And a bunch of rainbow black guys came through. And after
Oh
we sit
yeah,
there a while, it was about
no, I
200
didn't
of
hear
them.
that.
It was about 200
Damn.
of them, man. And it's really was sad, man, because I
Yeah,
think about
I hate.
how many fathers, how many fathers that we just lost from two hundred 200 rainbows.
Okay,
Well,
I'm
the
back.
problem is too. What's so bad too? You gotta even watch out because them rainbow people. I say that they be just as bad as the women when it comes to the attitude. Man, they be quick to fight too. They be
Uh,
quick to speak out the side of their neck. But go ahead. I won't go ahead now that Kevin's back and we'll let him talk.
yeah, Donnie, what's going on? Long live the habitual line steppers, and happy Father's
Long
Day, by the
live. Thank you. Same to you, my brothers.
way.
Well,
Happy
how's
Father's
that
Day,
baby
Donnie.
doing? How is your little one doing, Donnie?
He's good. He's over here
Getting
being a
into
troublemaker,
everything,
but
yeah.
he's
Getting into
currently asleep.
everything,
Yeah,
yeah.
climbing, doing everything. Yeah.
But the subject matter for the night is Father's Day, and it's really trying to give a message to the willfully ignorant about and it's just based on how little resolve we have for um, defending black fatherhood or even attacking black fatherhood in the many ways that we think of each year, and it just gets a little bit tiresome. So, what would you have to say to something like that? Yeah, Dre, you had a little background noise going, but Donnie, camera. uh, okay, all right, people.
Sorry, having technical difficulties over here. What's
I
up?
think you're on the show.
Yeah. No, what do you have to say to the negative sentiment that is always expressed toward black fathers, year after year after year after year after year after year?
Oh, fuck Mother's Day. Fuck you, single mothers. Uh, Fuck you, angry you couldn't be a daddy. People. Um, y'all eat a dick. I don't understand. Like, I don't understand what the fuck the problem is.
You told,
It,
you told.
yeah. Um, it's wild to me that because you didn't have a daddy around that you got to ruin the parade for everybody else for the active fucking fathers. It's insane, and it just seems like a whole bunch of bitching and complaining from a bunch of idiots, not to be taken seriously.
Yeah, yeah. Not to be taken seriously, but unfortunately for us, this narrative is taken quite seriously, and the narrative does come from like the way the narrative has progressed. It does come from a lack of accountability. Not wanting to take the blame for the state of our children, so to speak. Just trying to have this back and forth of who's more to blame. Is it the and let me hit the chat with this question as well. And I'm gonna hit you too with this question: who's more to blame for a child's downfall? A toxic mother who is present, or an absentee father?
But the father's not there. So
Uh,
how can he be blamed?
I can answer it for you. If for the audience, it's whatever's most advantageous for a black woman. Listen, I did it all by myself. I didn't need no man if he became a doctor. I did it all myself. I didn't need no man, but his daddy wasn't there if he ends up in jail. Black women have taken this and run with it by far. They're the only group of women who run around with this dynamic of I don't need a man. When these kids end up in good positions, they were proudly built by a single mother. When these kids, largely in majority, end up in fucked up positions, where's the daddy?
Right. I sit there and laugh. I say, because you ever notice a lot of these people who had ended up, even like when you hear most of these basketball players, if you knew these people growing up, like people look at LeBron James. LeBron, no offense, LeBron James. The only thing LeBron James' mama ever did for him was donate an egg. I mean, and I hate to say that, but people that known him, it was always other people around him who had looked out for him, other mentors in the community. I ain't gonna lie, the community raised that boy. But even though Mama get the credit, but no offense, it ain't like you raised him. The community did. Some of these people, and just give an example. I know plenty of coaches who still coach children, and they be buying the children their athletic gear. They be going to pick the kids up and bringing them to practice because the parents won't do it.
Yeah.
But
I
yet, be
think
the first one out there talking shit once he signed that damn contract.
yeah.
But I mean, I know plenty of coaches, and it was like, oh yeah, like I sit there and laugh. It's like if you know a coach that, like somebody that came up through any Cleveland school, 9 times out of 10, I can tell you about what coach that they know Coach above and beyond. And think about these children, these if they had the Me Too era, say back then, or some kind of crap like that, like we had this cancel culture, they just cancel somebody over a statement. Man, you realize some of the people that would, some of those people who were just mentoring those kids and helping them, they'd have been lost in the sauce. As soon as you say something to piss their mama off, oh yeah, you did something. And next thing you know, you sitting up in jail.
LeBron had a coach as a mentor, didn't he?
Yeah, LeBron had a coach. LeBron also had other people. It was other people. He had a lot of friends that even helped it. It was even some people who were not all, they didn't do everything. They didn't abide by all laws, even, oh, yeah, man. Oh, no, they told him to stay away from that stuff. I mean, he could have been easily wrapped up in that. Because, everybody knows his mom was a drug addict.
hey, K Dot, K Dot, I know what broadcast you talking about, and honestly, them some delusional bitches. I am so fucking sorry to say that, and it may come with a penalty for me saying that shit. And they can say whatever the fuck they want to about this channel or me as a fucking person. Them bitches can go to hell. Period. I'm sorry, brothers. You go you gonna have to start saying stuff about this shit at some point. I mean, shit. This shit is being allowed to flourish. It is.
Mhm.
You know,
Too
and I
much.
sure and I surely hate to talk about my beautiful black queens like that. But if you're not playing the fucking part, then fuck you. Kick rocks, go to hell. I ain't got time for this shit anymore. And this goes for all these little thirsty simps too that claim to be black men but support that bullshit. Fuck y'all too. Damn.
Oh man, how dare you talk about our black women?
Man, fuck them. I'm getting sick of this shit. Like if y'all want things to change, then you know if every one of y'all if y'all want things to change and you want things to get better, you're gonna have to nip shit in the bud. Period.
Why would you
Um,
do that?
boy, I don't know, man. It's just that this shit is becoming too potent. It almost
Well,
feels like go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you think that? I think a lot of people don't nip the shit in the bud because a lot of people don't like to take the problem is when you say speak up against the wrongs that you see happening in our community. I believe what happens is this: a lot of people can't take the backlash that it goes with standing up and saying, "Hey, this is wrong. We need to change that." Because standing up against the status quo, that could, a lot of people ain't got that backbone like that. A lot of people, they don't have it. And that's the reason why, as you see, first thing you say, look, we shouldn't date, we should stop dating single mothers. First thing they going to do, take it and run with it. Maybe people they done called your job, tried to get you fired. You know what I mean? I mean, like a lot of people realize, and the bad thing about you're living paycheck to paycheck. Say you go 2, 3 months without being paid over some crap that you technically believe in. A lot of people realize, well, wait a minute, technically, you're like slaves. You realize you can't do shit about it because you're gonna lose your job or some sudden over opinions. I mean, they're really taking this shit too far. Remember, I told you I left for $50,000 a year. That took me. I'm making under 50 grand a year now. That put me. They took $50,000 of my income away, and the only thing I did was didn't have a chick's back. When I told her I just couldn't have your back on that because you had no proof. I said I understand. I'm not saying you're wrong, but hey, if you don't have no proof, I can't act on it. All of a sudden, within 2 weeks, I'm losing contracts. Then all of a sudden, I get kicked out. No, we can. Matter of fact, we got to get rid of you. You causing too much of an uproar. And the only thing I did was not have a woman's back when she was going off acting stupid. And I just told her, hey, well, go right ahead. If that's what you want to do, go right ahead. I'm just not being involved. And the worst thing you can do is not have their back or support that stupid shit. And next thing you know, remember, you saw me. I was trying to take over a business section in the buildings downtown. So I'm working my way in. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. That was my goal. First time I didn't do something that a woman didn't like, all of a sudden, then she got friends and they know this, and next thing you know, it's like I didn't take your back on one thing, and now the next day, 5 motherfuckers don't like me at the company, and I never had no problem with none of these people. So you go from being the best worker, then stop the most thing, you getting contracts, you gonna get paid through the company and independent contracts to fired. You know what I mean? That people don't go for that. How can you be number one employee 1 month and getting a side contract where they want to pay you through your company and pay you on hourly wage,
Mhm.
and then next minute you terminate it?
They usually don't happen that way.
Right now, think about it. When a job wants to pay you so much money that they're gonna
Yeah.
pay you that well, you can do off your 40 hours here, but then you
Yeah.
can take 5 contracts and have your business work for us too. So
They,
the
they use,
people you
yeah,
know, we gonna hire them, and we gonna pay you, and you disperse
yeah,
it to them. So I'm gonna be
yeah,
getting paid. Most companies don't want to do that. They call that double
yeah,
dipping. But when a
yeah.
company
They let
says
you
they
go.
want you, right?
They
The
let
company
they
said that they want you because you're that good a worker, and they figure you're gonna get it done.
they usually let you go for that.
But no, but they solicited me to do it. Well, we'll just hire your company on the outside to do that. They said, as long as you do your 40 hours on that, we don't care. Your company can do this, and you can just decide whatever type of crew you bring, and they can have these contracts. But we got so many of them.
Mm,
Hmm,
yeah.
that's messed up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a damn shame. But the fact is, the only thing I did was technically hurt a female's feelings. That's all I did. I hurt her feelings because I told her I wasn't gonna get involved in that, and she thought that I should, and I'm like, well, unfortunately, baby girl, that's on you. If that's what you want to do, go right ahead. I'm not being involved in it. And all of a sudden, I'm the baddest person in the world and every damn thing.
Mm, yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Well, here's what I say to that point. Especially if you're a father, be careful with
Hmm.
these bitches. Be careful with them because like they'll take the most petty routes just to take you out, and it's a sad thing, but I don't know. I guess it's got to get to the point where we have to understand what our strengths are and what our weaknesses are, and we got to navigate through this bitch. Like we are aware of what those strengths and what those weaknesses are, and this is why we have spaces such as this, so the awareness can spread. Because up until now, well, up until very recently, there was not really any awareness. We were just kind of letting things kind of slide and let things flow and let the chips fall where they may. Now we're in this bullshit right here. So, I mean, this is what we get, but it can be fixed. Uh, One of the ways it can be fixed is just to make smarter human choices. Period. It's like don't anticipate you could just do something stupid and you could just go with the regular narrative. I mean, because at the end of the day, it still affects your life. Period. It's gonna have that effect, and you can cry and way all you want, but when you look in that mirror, that truth is gonna scream at you. Period. So keep doing shit that's counterproductive.
yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Wow. So, yeah, this is do any of y'all have anything else to say to the willfully ignorant out there?
Yeah.
Mm.
Mm,
I'm good on that.
I'm
Okay, you're good.
yeah, I'm done.
It said we're all done. Okay, yeah. So let's go. Let's go ahead and go into final statements. And what I'm going to do in the coming weeks is to try to get an earlier start time. Because yeah, these late shows they're good. I mean, when they're great, but when they're late. So just start looking for me to come on at earlier times. Um, I've gotten pretty much everybody used to the nighttime weekend spot, but you know, some of us got jobs,
Yeah.
some of us got planned activities, and it's just me letting you guys know that I am considering the audience. I am keeping the audience in mind. So let's start up with final statements. I know this is a shorter broadcast than normal, but still people still up and all this other stuff, and there's things that have to be done for the next day. So, all right,
Listen,
whoever
Kev,
wants.
let me drop out. You know what? You another great show. Weekend Warriors with place to be. Long live the habitual line steppers, fellas. Appreciate the convo. I'll holler at y'all later.
All right. All right, Donnie, long live the habitual line steppers. And thank you as always for making your presence felt. Y Skinner or Judge Dre.
Yeah. Appreciate you letting me
Yes,
up again tonight. Uh, Again, happy Father's Day, even though it's the date and change. Happy Father's Day to everybody, and keep your heads up, guys.
All right, Y Skinner, thank you once again. I appreciate you coming by and supporting the channel. Um, Dre.
well, I want to say happy Father's Day to the fathers out there. I said, trust me, we always understand that you guys are always undervalued, but don't worry, you'll be valued here. We see your worth.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Um, I'm not real sure how long it took to get it this way. I do understand if something stays fucked for a long time, it's probably gonna take even longer to unfuck it. So, how do we begin to turn this narrative around about the constant disrespect and the animosity felt just by being a black father? I already said better human choice, but here's the biggest thing, and I don't know if any of you thought about this. One thing right here, and it still does involve human choice. When are we going to decide that we're going to stop listening to the white supremacists? They don't want anything good for you. They don't care how you look. Shout out to infantry skills. They care about making you look as bad as possible. So they're never going to say anything that is going to invoke any strength in our group of people. And when I talk about our group of people, I talk about black people. It's we most certainly have to do better as far as having each other's backs, male or female. But when you start talking about the element of Father's Day, then there are so many negative dynamics that go with that, to the point where you probably at this point wouldn't be able to address it enough. And yes, I love being a father. I love being a black man. I love being both. And when those two things are attacked on a constant basis by our own people, and when I say stuff like this, I know I'm gonna get the what about is. What about the way some of these men be talking about black? Yeah, we address that shit all the damn time, but we're so nonchalant about your fellow black man, your brother, your father, black fatherhood in general being attacked. We're so nonchalant about it to the point where it doesn't even matter, and it gets so insulting to the point where I think that it's just a lack of acceptance for how bad the situation really is. So anyway, I just want y'all to consider certain things. It's like that keep driving a wedge between us. A lot of y'all talk about some when are we gonna heal, or let's build, or all this other stuff. Hell, when are you gonna make the human choice to start accepting things for what they are so we can move forward? That's it. See y'all next week. I'm sure I'll put out a short video sometime this week. Uh, Probably a BMBBH news without the WS, or just one of my stiff commentaries. In fact, a lot more of my stiff commentaries are going to start coming, because it's getting to a point where a lot of us just need to start being told. Like Judge Dre, fuck them feelings. Like he said earlier, fuck them feelings. We just gonna have to start hurting feelings. And that is exactly what it's going to be. Because this shit right here is gotten way out of hand. And as a black man, I can't admit that a lot of it does fall on us, but the ignorance of people is what's making it an even bigger problem. Making it an even bigger problem. So, to the willfully ignorant, I'm coming for your ass. Like, share, subscribe, and Kev, we trust. Till next week. See you.